Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And like I always say, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today is Saturday, August 3rd, 2024. I hope that you all had a great July and have started to have a good August. And in today's video, I'm going to give a recap of July as well as a preview of August, as well as some of the things that have happened in the first couple days of August. So I'm going to jump right into it. So in July was a good month. Work wise, there's not a whole lot to report, other than I have a very specific goal that I would like to try to reach between now and the end of 2025. Uh, a very specific business related goal. I'm going to keep it private right now, but I'll uh, I'll keep you guys updated on any notable changes at work or any shifts over at Renvio/Ignite Recruitment as we continue to build and grow the business. On the Foundation Fighting Blindness side, we have finally established the final date for the Pittsburgh Vision Walk, and that will be on Saturday, October 26th, 2024, on the Great Lawn at Acrisure Stadium. Registration starts at 9 a.m. And I encourage any and all people local to Pittsburgh to consider making a team or to consider contributing to a team and joining us on Walk Day on October 26th. If there are any additional details regarding the walk or related events in the meantime, I will definitely post a video or mention it in another video in the near future. As far as exercise and healthy eating, could have been better. Um, it just could have been better. It's been hard to reestablish the old habits that I had when I was doing things when I was more effective in my routine. Still not horrible, but could be better. So not really sure how I feel about that. Not super down about it, not super happy about it. So I guess we'll call it a wash. I got together early in July. I got together with one of my best friends, Katie. We went and tried there was a brewery out in Gibsonia that she wanted to try, and just the food. She heard the food was good, so we drove out to Gibsonia and tried that. I just got like a chicken salad because it was like a healthy day for me, but it was good. The venue was cool. They have a really impressive outdoor setup at the venue, and unlike anything I've ever really seen. I can't even remember the place. It was like Dough Dads or Doughboy Dads or Doughy Dads, something like that. I think it's like right next to the Narcissi Winery in Gibsonia, but it was cool, and I recommend it. Um, and it was fun to spend some time with her because I haven't seen her for a while. We went to a 4th of July party with our neighbors, actually on the 5th of July because they weren't available on the 4th of July. And it was actually a birthday party for one of my neighbors as well. So we had sort of like a merged celebration there, and it was very fun, very low key, and we really enjoyed ourselves there for a few hours. The other thing that happened in July, I'm trying to think because I have notes written down here. I don't think I'm missing much. I hope I'm not. But the final thing that we did in July was we had a get together at my aunt's house out in Pittsburgh, and there were about a dozen or so of us, and it was the first time that we got together since my cousin's wedding back in May, and it was really nice to visit and reminisce about that event because we've really not spoken at all about the wedding. We haven't seen them, and we haven't really spoken about it because um, a lot of the people that were at this party on Sunday were away for about a month right after the wedding and just got back in early July, and it was very very fun to like I said reminisce about things that happened at the wedding, some things that we knew about as guests that the wedding party didn't know about, and vice versa. So that was fun, and they also shared a slideshow of I don't know how many pictures and videos of their time in Eastern Europe that they spent in June, and that was really neat. And it was cool to hear some of the cultural aspects of their visit and what they learned and about the Carpatho-Rusin and Slovakian heritages, and and it was very educational and engaging and fun at the same time. So and interesting. So that was basically July. I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but I don't. Nothing really jumps out at me. And please forgive me if you're watching this and you're someone that I'm forgetting about for July. But yeah, on the whole, it was a socially it was a pretty good month. Um, Business wise, pretty good month. Uh, in general, Foundation Fighting Blindness, a really good month. A lot of progress there. Um, and really, the only complaint I have about the month of July is that my exercise and healthy eating routine wasn't up to par. That's really my only complaint, and it's something that I'm very committed to doing and improving upon in August. So, with that being said, I'm going to jump into my preview of August and sort of a recap of the last couple of days. So, yesterday on August 2nd, Friday, I spoke at UPMC. And if you recall, I spoke at UPMC at a gene therapy boot camp back in October of last year. And we were, and Bailey and I, Bailey at the Foundation Fighting Blindness, she and I were invited back to speak yesterday in front of a new set of students at this other boot camp, same organization, different boot camp, to speak to a new set of folks. And I was asked to discuss why I got involved with the Foundation Fighting Blindness, how my life has been affected by vision loss, and to discuss how my life will be improved by the work that these medical doctors, these scientists, and these researchers are doing. I feel like it was very well received. My message this year, my talk this year was definitely felt to be shorter and a lot more polished and a lot more to the point than it was last year. I'm a little bit happier with my talk this year, and it seemed, like I said, to have been pretty well received by the folks that we were speaking to. And of course, Bailey did a really great job too in her talk, giving sort of a high level synopsis of what the Foundation Fighting Blindness does, specifically in the areas of gene therapy research and clinical trials. So um, that's pretty much what happened so far this month that's worth discussing. When I was there yesterday, I became acquainted with one of the researchers who just set up a lab here in Pittsburgh, or became part of a lab here in Pittsburgh about 2 years ago, she said. Excuse me. And she's focused on a very new, innovative, restorative solution for people with vision loss due to really any type of vision loss, I think, but this was about mainly about inherited retinal diseases, so we'll stick to that. And I'm not a scientist or a medical professional by any stretch, so I might be butchering this, but it sounds like her research and her work involves the electrical stimulation of the brain to create vision. And it's, from what I understand, it's a solution for people that have eyes in their heads that don't work well or don't work at all, and may even be able to, and again, I might be butchering this, I'm not sure, disclaimer, I'm just basing this stuff solely off of memory. These electrical stimulations in theory would stimulate the creation of vision and visual sensations without the person having usable vision or even having eyes. And I really think that these restorative solutions for people with blindness or inherited retinal diseases, the solutions that don't require use of the eyes you were born with, is the direction that this is moving in. I mentioned in a previous video when I talked about the Visions Conference, I mentioned about a point about eye transplants. Similar thing, doesn't require your own eyes to work, or to even remain in your body. There's a transplant that may someday become available and viable and successful in restoring vision. Same with this electrical stimulation. Not only does it not require you to have usable vision in your current eyes, but in theory, it would be able to stimulate visual sensations whether you even have eyes in your sockets or not. So that's really, really exciting. That's very infantile in its process. There's a long way to go in that research, but it sounded extremely promising. Um, and I was really excited to speak with her briefly about it, and well, to listen to her speak about it briefly about it, and to be acquainted with her. Um, Moving forward this month, my big objectives are going to be to start executing on that big goal I mentioned from a at work. Again, I'm going to keep that private, but I'm definitely going to become definitely more pointed and laser focused on that specific goal and do the thing. I know what I have to do. I have the vehicle. I just have to execute. The hard part's over. Finding the vehicle. For the goals that I have, the hardest part is finding a viable vehicle that I can do that has a low enough barrier to entry that I don't have to go to school for 25 years. That's an exaggeration. Don't have to go to school for a decade to be in a position to have the opportunity to reach certain goals. So um, that's going to be a big focus in August. The other big focus in August is there's two more. The other big focus in August is to begin raising money for the Vision Walk. My team has already raised a couple $100, which is a good start, but I'm committed to more so than just raising money for my team. I'm committed to contacting potential sponsors for the walk, reaching out to companies, businesses here in Pittsburgh, and seeing if there is an interest and getting as much interest as I can in companies wanting to donate some money towards our Vision Walk this year in 2024. So that's another big objective. That's not only a big objective for August, but for September and the first 3 weeks of October as well. So that's something that I'm hoping goes very well for us. And the final thing that I'm focusing on in August is I'm going to be getting back on track with my health routine. Again, I've not been doing horribly, I guess, if you consider everything, but it's definitely not been what it needs to be. And I did so well for so many years, and for some reason, a few months ago, just kind of didn't completely fall off the wagon. But I definitely wasn't doing what I've been doing for the last like 4 or 5 years. So, looking forward to getting back on track there, and yeah, that's really all there is coming up in August. I'm going to be going back down to UPMC on the 23rd to attend the student presentation for that boot camp that I spoke at yesterday. The students are going, from what I understand, they've spent this 7 or 8 week or whatever boot camp creating a gene therapy treatment, and I imagine that the presentations that they're going to be giving are going to talk about how they intend to do the preliminary studies and then take it to clinical trial, through the clinical trial, what the endpoints look like, all the way to FDA approval. I'm assuming that's what that's going to look like, and I'm really excited to both attend that, see what that's all about, and to report back on what that experience is like in my August recap here in a few weeks. So yeah, that's really all there is to say today. I feel pretty good today. Had a pretty down week. Not going to really get into it, but yesterday was a good day. Heard a lot of really promising things from some people down there at UPMC at the Vision Institute, and I'm really looking forward to August being a great month. July was a good month. It didn't stand out to me as much as like May and June did, but May and June were like highlight months for me, and that that doesn't mean that July was a bad month, but I'm optimistic that August will be great and the rest of the year will be as well. There's a lot of things coming, and I'm looking forward to sharing that experience with all of you. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I will see you all in the next video.